Okay.
No, not vertical. What are you doing?
Alright, we're going. We're rolling.
Alright, we are on our way to see Slipknot, Day of the Gusano.
Now, we didn't bring the Slipknot masks. I actually thought about it, but I have no idea where they are.
Damn it, dude, that would have been a good idea.
However, we are wearing some Slipknot swag. I don't know how well you can see this t-shirt, but I'll flip it around for you. There you go.
Oh, so you're upside down.
Yeah.
Only in theaters tonight, so hopefully there's a big crowd, lots of weird people to check out, and yeah, it's gonna be a good night.
We're loading up.
Are you ready to rock your socks up your ass?
Alright, here we are, back at home.
Yep.
What do we think of the movie?
It was just like a concert on DVD that you'd buy back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Or a VHS maybe.
Yeah, it was a big show. It was a big show.
Yeah.
I felt like I was at the concert.
It's kind of like 70% concert, like 30% otherwise, right?
Yeah.
I would go 80-20. It felt like they filmed the concert and then they said, we have to make this into a movie.
Yeah.
So, guys, let's go around town and with our iPhone and take some selfie footage.
Yeah.
I think this fell over.
Oh no!
Literally half the other footage was Clown with his iPhone taking pictures like an old man. You know how like the old people walk around with their iPhones and they hold it with two hands?
Yeah.
And they squint and they're like don't even realize they're on selfie mode and they're taking pictures of everything on all this nonsense. That's what Clown looked like. He looked like an old man.
Like, obviously I enjoyed the concert footage, but it's really not why I was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the concert footage was good. I got some goosebumps, you know, during a few of the songs.
Yeah.
So that was definitely cool. But yeah, it was mostly concert, and I feel like I wasn't in the mood for that, you know? And I was ready to watch an interesting movie and learn more about Slipknot, not just enjoy their production, you know?
I feel like they filmed a lot of the stuff behind the scenes and then but nothing interesting happened. So they couldn't even include it. Like they chose to put a few of the new band members going to some pyramid above behind the scenes action. And like one of the shots was literally them going to dinner. It's like, this is not interesting at all.
It's like,
it actually makes it worse. It's like, here's these cool metal dudes, you think that they're these badasses, and then they go to dinner and they probably like send back their spaghetti that night.
I was looking forward to some footage like we saw in the Sick documentary, where you know it starts out with freaking Sid Wilson throwing up like right outside their trailer or whatever. He's fucking throwing up. I was looking forward to some of that shit, like just some craziness, but it was just a bunch of normal, like, oh, we
so normal.
We went to see the pyramid, and we bought some hats, and we bought some sombreros.
Yeah. Like, where's like you guys getting ready to go on stage? Where's the aggression you're feeling and getting into character, so to speak? You know,
those days are gone. I think
it was so normal. It was like watching my parents go on a trip to Mexico. They did the exact same thing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not here to like feel happy necessarily. I'm here to like really get into this like bizarre alternative hardcore world that like only like Slipknot fans can really understand, or like really appreciate, you know. Yeah, my mom could watch this and probably go, oh, that was very interesting.
Oh yeah. It like pretty much started off with the song.
Yeah.
Or whatever song it was.
Yeah, there should be some kind of like build up to the show.
You're getting excited because if it was going to be a concert footage show, then you have to, you know, really amp it up. But instead it just started, and I was like, okay, I guess we're just watching the concert.
Yeah, that would have been cool to show like they're leading up to going out on stage, and I think it would have been cool to, I mean, yeah, you can have some concert footage, but you know, frequently cut back. More interviews, I think, would have been a lot nicer. We only got one interview of Corey Taylor. It was not a lot there. Most of it was interviews with, most of it was Clown talking, you know, fine.
A lot of Jay, the new drummer, and it's like, you haven't been there for most of their career. Like, let's hear from the guys that built this.
A lot of the new drummer, I mean, sure, he's a good drummer, not super interested in hearing what he has to say, but that's fine.
Yeah, if you cut out all the concert parts
Yeah.
and you just did the behind the scenes stuff, it's like, oh, they seem like cool guys.
Right. Very respectable.
They do
men.
a lot of the same things that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
México, rifa cabrones, México, es Slipknot, woo!
I feel like you'd watch this movie as you'd want to go into it and try to get perspective into like what's it like to be Slipknot. But instead you come out of it like thinking, just like you watched the concert like you were the fan. And they even did interviews with the fans that were just like you and me. So like we didn't really get any perspective on Slipknot. It was just like, oh cool, Slipknot has fans that get stupid tattoos.
Yeah.
The guy was like, I've had cancer since 2013.
Yeah.
And then one of them walks in and he's like, oh hey man. It's like, why are you even in the movie?
Yeah. You couldn't have found like more excited fans.
Yeah, he would have had the same reaction as I would have had. And I don't have cancer, and I don't care about Slipknot.
Yeah.
And especially that scene where Corey's getting all emotional with one of the fans, like, it was hard to dial in with that because he kept going back and forth between the interpreter and the person, and it just didn't look real. It just looked kind of like, he was like, oh yeah, what did you say? Oh, okay.
We hear the kid talk, and Corey's listening to the translation, but they didn't even hold for the shot to see him react to what he hears.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, let's hear. We like Corey. Let's see Corey.
And he didn't really say anything back to the kid. He just sort of listened with that concerned look on his face. You know?
Yeah. Well, how about when that guy is really awkward with Jim, and Jim's like, thanks, bro.
Why don't they just say like, I love you back?
Yeah.
I'm
that
sure.
really costs them so much.
Yeah.
I did feel like the actual concert had a language barrier. Like it took them forever to figure out, okay, we're supposed to get down on the ground. Corey, you could tell Corey learned like his 5 Spanish words for the concert. He learned uno, dos. I don't think he quite learned tres.
Well, kind of off of that, I mean, he's like, uno mas. He's like, one more, do you want one more? Even the translators were, 1, 2.
Right.
That's not what that means, dude.
He wasn't saying uno dos.
Really?
He was saying uno mas.
Uno mas.
Yeah.
You want one more?
So they f***ed up the
Subtitles. 1, 2.
I was wondering why he was saying 1, 2. I was like, is he gonna say 3 or? It actually implies to me that Corey didn't even watch the video before it got released.
How many people didn't even go past?
Because like Corey would say, I didn't say 1, 2. I said 1 more, and then they would just go and change it, right?
Yeah.
It implies that he didn't even watch it.
I think this was only Clown. I think Clown, maybe the new drummer guy. I don't know. It seemed like it was just a Clown thing because Clown likes to do this kind of stuff. He likes to do film and.
So we didn't get there early enough to like kind of see the fans at the theater. I was turning my head back because we were pretty close to the front. I was turning my head back to see if people were headbanging or moshing. You know, it was mostly tame, but we did have those guys in the front losing their minds, right?
There was some yells, some hollers, and most of it was coming from these 3 or 4 guys sitting like very front row and like just like they were jumping up and down, literally like just jumping out of their seats, punching the seats, punching their hands.
Yeah, I thought one of them like broke their hand on the back of the plastic.
It was so loud.
It was so loud because there was like a problem or something, dude. Right?
Maybe
I don't know.
They were so into it, and then they just left.
Yeah.
Maybe they even realized that they don't want to see this side of Slipknot.
Yeah.
This is the old man side of Slipknot.
Yeah.
They might have had to go because I heard one of them saying like, "Oh man, right when the best song comes on," as they're walking out. That was right before Wait and Bleed, or no, Spit It Out.
Yeah. What do you think they had to go do?
Smoke a blunt. I don't know.
From the smell of it, they did
deal.
that during the movie.
I could smell something.
So we had a scare at the very beginning when we first get there, and there's this like interview footage with Clown. It cut with these bizarre edits of like the question multiple times and like the same concert footage over and over. And we were kind of scared, right? That this was the movie.
Yeah.
Q&A section just ended. Now we're ready for the movie. We were pretty worried. We were pretty worried about that this was going to be the movie. We thought it was going to be a Q&A movie. I know. I watch this on YouTube all the time, dude.
It went on for longer than I expected. And I feel like they did that because they knew that people would be late. Because they think there's previews.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to miss the actual concert.
Yeah.
They knew people would be late because they're Slipknot fans.
Yeah.
They're too busy not being at work or doing anything productive.
They got too high.
Yeah. A lot of fans probably had to get work off in order to see.
Yeah, and all the interview questions were just like, do do you like music, or tell us about your journey.
Yeah.
It's almost like they wrote those questions themselves, because who would even care to ask that anyway?
Were the masks a creative process for you guys? Was that a creative thing?
Like what was that?
What kind of question is that?
Yeah, what was the thought process behind the mask? It's like, that's a 20-year-old question.
Yeah, that's
It's
so
answered a billion
old.
times. Like,
That's so old.
this is what's released to theaters.
Yeah, and why? I didn't like the answer to that one either. Like, yeah, they didn't like the mask. They didn't want us to have the mask, so you know that's why we did it. But it's like they probably love the mask. That's why the only reason why you're famous.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. The ending was weird. They had a really good ending.
Yeah.
Just like really closed it out, and they ended with a little. We did one more scene with a little Mexican guy getting his tattoos.
Yeah,
of his,
that was strange.
signatures.
Yeah, it seemed like there was like a lingering clip at the end of their premiere project that they forgot to delete. They forgot to export, and it was just there.
Yeah.
And it was like too late because they released it.
Or it was like 2 minutes before they had the deadline or whatever, and like, oh shoot, like we gotta throw in one more. We got this clip. We forgot. I'll just throw it in the end. Okay.
Yeah.
They're like contractually obligated to have it.
It was not 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
You can't release it, so they needed to fill it with something.
And I think, was that the same guy that was awkward with the "I love you," or was it a different guy?
It was, yeah. 'Cause that was the guy that Jim signed his arm, and he's like, he asked a question, and the guy didn't know what he asked, so he like signs more or something. It was so bizarre, really, really weird.
So what would you give it out of 10?
Man,
On a scale of 1 to maggot.
on a scale of 1 to maggot, I'd have to give it a half maggot, dude. The concert coverage was awesome. I thought the mix was really nice, even if the theater didn't like really give us the full power of the music. The documentary part like was so boring. You didn't really dig in, and this could have been anybody, like you said. And especially if it's a one night only like screening, it's like you gotta make it something really big. So I'd have to say half maggot, didn't really deliver, and even as a Slipknot fan, I just was kind of bored.
I would have to give it 2/5 of a maggot, unfortunately. I just felt like, yeah, if I was going there to, if I was going into the theater thinking I was going to watch some cool concert footage, I probably would have been more on board and I would have been ready for that. But I was looking forward to like a documentary style, more of a documentary feel. So I just can't give it too much credit, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll go 1/5 of a maggot. You went 2/5, I'll go 1/5.
Wow. Yeah.
I got pretty bored in the middle. I wasn't expecting to see just concert footage.
Yeah.
That was boring.
Yeah.
I don't even really know who these people are. Like, I know of them, but it's not like I have any personal connection to them, so I just really don't care what they did on their vacation.
And you mentioned even when at the beginning you see them unmasked, and you're not very familiar with that. So for you even told me like, dude, this kind of ruins the magic.
Yeah, they're like kind of badass with their masks on, and then they're just like fat old dudes, taking a tour of Mexico City. I feel like this was one day only because they knew that word would get out the next day, like, do not see this movie.
Yeah, totally.
So they're hoping that word travels slow enough, and they got away with our 1250.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, if you're a normal person, but we're maggots, and we want to see some crazy shit. So
Totally. Alright, so I guess that wraps it up for Day of the Gusano. As if you have a choice to see the theaters, you can't, so I guess if you could, don't. Wait for it to go on YouTube. If you're a Slipknot fan, you probably enjoy the show, but there's a million concert videos on all over the place, so you won't really get too much out of this, I think.
Yeah, don't see it.
watch on YouTube.
Alright, cool.
That's a wrap. That's it.
Thanks, guys.
Sweet.